Oko shepi and then chile kwasa. Oshepi, fly for your man there. It is late. I never.
We not gonna sit down the look. Make them come report our girls. Everybody, will rise up. We no fighting, we are just up. No be so. No be so. We gonna share every day. People just show. Full family was wiped out by Fulanis. So Jacqueline boy used to call them terrorists. We touch them the Kanu, you go cause war. We touch it on the bow, you go cause war. Makana Prugo no Nandika Wamunelua. And I will find for another. It's not the time we go gender for them. Gender for them, tell them we know this. When you go pull your book, Abakuya. They might not fire Abayo. Igbo people have been marginalized. IPOB have been brutalized. We not go sit down there.
Purchase your tracks today.
Make them come kill all of us. We not go sit down there. Look. If they come take our life, we not go sit down there. Look. Bring them from the house like us. We not go sit down there. Look. Make them come report our girls.
Purchase your tracks today.
Instead of up, they take us down. Instead of right, they take us left. Kata, Buru the change. They promise to change, but we no see the change. Why you not let BIAFRA go? Are you not tired of killing them? There's not the time we go send up for them. Send up for them, tell them we don't be sorry. We not go sit down there, look. Make them go kill all of us. We not go sit down there, look. Make them go check our wallet. We not go sit down there, look. Make them go knock us like us. We not go sit down there, look. Make them go report our girls.
To defend our land against the excesses and ravages of Fulani terrorism and the hegemonic tendencies of the Sokoto Caliphate. For years, our mothers have not been able to go to the farms. Our daughters are being raped and cut into pieces. Everybody is aware of what transpired at Nimbo, at also Wani, what is happening right now in Delta, what is also happening in Ebonyi State, and also in parts of Abia. We cannot allow it to continue. We have cowards and spineless, lily-livered idiots as governors. They have given over our land to the Janjaweed to occupy in perpetuity. This very generation, this very IPOB will not tolerate it. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. We would rather all perish and die than to allow our land to be taken over by the Janjaweed. It cannot happen. This is a warning to all the governors who are conspiring due to one political consideration or the other to give our land to infidels and blood-sucking demons from the Sahel. It cannot happen, not under our watch. It's not going to happen. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Our invaders, we are being told, come from Senegambia. We are being told they come from Mali. Some are from Niger Republic. Some are from Chad, according to the governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai. Therefore, we are setting up the Eastern Security Network to combat the excesses of these vagabonds and criminals from across the Sahel. Along the same lines as Amotekun, and even the ones set up by the terrorists themselves, Miyetti Allah. What we are launching today officially before the congregation of a global audience is the Eastern Security Network. Not a Biafran army, no. Anytime this army will march, we shall let the world know. But for now, and for our present purposes, we are there to defend the land of Biafra against these marauders from the Sahel, against a very determined incursion being led by terrorists, Fulani terrorists to be precise. What we are doing is no different from what Amotekun is seeking to achieve in Yoruba land. What we are doing is not far from what Miyetti Allah, the terrorists themselves, are seeking to achieve in the northern part of the damnable Zoological Republic. Our response to the endless cycle of insecurity, lawlessness, mayhem, destruction of lives and properties in Biafra land is the launch of this very Eastern Security Network. This very day, in the coming days and weeks, you will see them in their uniforms. You will see them performing very critical and vital functions of ensuring the security of our land. I urge each and every one of you to give them your maximum cooperation. Attempts in the past to resolve these very raging Fulani terrorist incursion into our land has been very fragmented and piecemeal. It has never worked. Just a few days ago, we received reports that Delta State under Governor Ifeanyi Okowa launched what he referred to as Delta Safe Operation Delta Hawk, only for Delta State, whereas Yoruba governors launched Amotekun to safeguard the whole of Yoruba land. Miyetti Allah launched their own vigilante group to safeguard the interest of Fulani Janjaweed all over the Zoological Republic. When you come to the east, by which I mean the southeast and the south-south, all the governors there are cowards. They have not done anything to secure our lives and our properties. That is why we felt it is necessary for us to do the right thing to protect our land, or else we will go the way that the Hausa people went. And we are not going to allow that, not under our watch. They have managed to fragment our people. They have managed to divide us. No governor in the southeast or south-south has the courage nor the conviction to stand up to defend the people. Therefore, we must. Therefore, IPOB must defend our land to the very last blood in our bones. We are not going to stop. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever, until we rid our farms and our forests of every vestige of Fulani Janjaweedism. This evening, I'm announcing it, that our forests and our farmlands shall be free of Fulani terror presence. They cannot dwell in our bushes. They can bring down their cattle to do their business, after which we expect them to domicile in our cities and in our towns, to rent houses like any other group of people. If they decide to venture into our forests and into our farms, they will have us to contend with. We do not care who they come with. We don't care if they come with their army, their air force, or whoever is supporting this caliphate, relentless incursion into the south. We shall meet them head on. We shall confront them. I do not want to hear about any rape of a mother anywhere starting from this very night. I don't want to hear that any daughter of Biafra has been abducted anywhere in our territory, because starting from this very evening, our forests and our farmlands are no-go areas for Fulani terrorists. masquerading as headsmen. Because the Fulani very cleverly discovered that the only way they can defeat our people is by dividing us. That is why all the governors of the South and the Southeast never got together to float any security outfit capable of defending our land. None of them did. Absolutely none. Even what their counterparts are doing in Yoruba land, they cannot replicate. What ordinary terrorist group like Miet Yala is doing, your so-called governors cannot do it because they are cowards, they are beholden to the caliphate. They have come to do the bidding of the Fulani Janjaweed, and we can't allow them in our land. If they want to serve the Fulani Caliphate, they can go to the north and do it. Not in Biafra land, not anymore, not from this very night. That is why this very announcement is being made before the full view of the international community, that they may understand how serious we are, how determined we are. As somebody quite rightly said, the only way to eat an elephant is by cutting it into pieces. The only way the Fulani Janjaweed can overwhelm us is by dividing us. If you are an agent
Hello, good evening, fellow Biafrans. Good evening, everybody. I want to welcome you to this wonderful day, 12th of December 2021. And today we are celebrating the launch of the Eastern Security Network by the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Exactly this time in that year that he actually announced the formation of the Eastern Security Network, a well-organized security apparatus to guard and protect our land against marauding Fulani herdsmen and terrorists. And today we are celebrating 1 year. Many people never thought that Eastern Security Network will get up to a month. But before our very eyes, Eastern Security Network have superseded 6 months and we are in 1 year celebration. And on that note, I want to bring Mazi Chukwuemeka Ezeji. Mazi, before we proceed, I want to sing a happy birthday to the Eastern Security Network. Please, let's take a happy birthday song for them.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
The Eastern Security Network is worth celebrating.
Yes.
As much as we are mourning and unhappy, there is also need for us to celebrate the legacy of the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who have been able to put all the structures we needed, together to help us, first of all, secure our land, at least the farmland, where we can actually talk about food production. And we have also been in agricultural, program, lecturing our people to return back to the farm. And it's like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I believe I've seen our program encouraging our people to, and that alone made me and my crew in Black and White Web TV endorse the formation of ESN immediately, because we have been on this path of encouraging our people to return back to the farm, so we'll be able to produce our food, and this is what the terrorists do not want. They want us to starve to death. But through the help and initiative of this great man who sees ahead of time knew that something need to be done. And the ESN itself have also performed excellently. In a very short period of the launching, ESN was able to clear the bushes. You know, even though that sometimes their might is still put under test as well by these marauding herdsmen, like we saw a few days ago, them chasing these herdsmen in the bush, because sometimes they want to come and see if ESN is still in existence. We have men who have been able to prove worthy to be celebrated. Mazi, I want to welcome you. And with us is Mazi, also Mazi Solomon Peter. Mazi, good evening and welcome. Mazi Solomon Peter, are you there with us?
Yes, I am here.
It's like it's cold. Is it cold in Australia?
It's still early morning. I'm feeling a bit cold.
Cold,
so
yeah.
I have to cover my head as to feel warm. Yeah. So yeah, Mazi, I bring greeting to you from here, Sydney, Australia.
Yeah.
And greeting to Biafran all over the world, lovers of freedom, lovers of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, haters of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I bring greeting to all of you at this very moment. This is going to be a wonderful program. I wish everyone who are here could be able to share the program. As you welcome yourself in this platform, try also to welcome your friends, relations, and family. Thank you very much.
By the way, we are starting 1 hour earlier than scheduled due to change in the program. We are supposed to start by 10 p.m. Biafra time. So please, we are starting this program 1 hour earlier than scheduled. In fact, when I made the first announcement, I put 9 p.m. and later changed it to 10 p.m. And finally, we are starting by 9 p.m. But it's okay. Please alert everybody. Share the program. Keep sharing this program. So a lot of people have shared the program, because when you share, I get indication on my phone. So I see a lot of our people, a lot of our comrades are sharing the program. But we continue to encourage you to do more of the sharing. The episode we'll be dealing with all through the week has to do with what is trending in regards to the lack of security in the north right now. And a lot of northern governors are already lamenting. Even the northerners are already crying. They are blaming the boo-boo in Aso Rock that he abandoned the security he's supposed to provide, and you, the mobile police, the army, to be chasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, so that they are the people that are paying the price. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu some few months ago said that he's going to draw them in, that they are going to come down definitely and leave opening for the terrorists. So by the time they finish in Biafra land, they won't have a place to return back to. And we see that happening before our very eyes. Quite unfortunately, he's in their hands, but I believe there is a purpose for that. It's just a matter of time. They are going to get him released, because they have not been able to establish any crime he has committed. If it was possible for them to have prosecuted his case, they would have done that with a lot of excitement. But I can tell you that there is no excitement right now. Today I was reflecting, and I remember what Lai Mohammed said, that in the next coming weeks we are going to arrest so many prominent men that have been supporting and sponsoring the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that they have been able to discover a lot of details on his computer, on his phone. 5 months is gone, nobody has been paraded. So I think I have to look for that clip and play it, so that we remind Lai Mohammed that we are keeping record of the things they say. They said in the next few weeks that there are prominent Nigerians that have been in, sponsoring the activities of IPOB, that in the next few weeks that they are going to start rounding them up. Now, 5 months down the line, we've not seen anybody being paraded as a sponsor of IPOB. We've not seen anybody. You see, so a lot of lies have been built, even trying to put fear in the mind of people as if they have evidence. Just like we have it today again, even within IPOB, People accusing everybody as if they have evidence, but when it's time to provide the evidence, they will say Elohim say. And this is very soon now. Like Mohammed will still come out and tell us that Elohim told him that, so that is by the way. Mazi Zeji, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mazi Pat. Mazi Solo. Greetings from London.
Thank you very much. I'm here.
I'm delighted. I'm delighted to be sharing the program with you today. You've been, I don't know how to describe you. I just call you Solo, the wise man. We have our own Solomon in Biafra. And you are that wise man we have. Thank you so much for what you've been doing for Biafrans.
You're welcome.
And thank you, Mazi.
Mazi, you don't need any introduction. You just reserve that your introduction. Biafrans know you already. We want to proceed. We want to proceed with a Punch newspaper article that came out today, and this article was written by. Just hold on. Was written by Punch, yeah. And the reading. Let me take it. By Adeniyi Olugbemi. This article was written by Adeniyi Olugbemi, and he said Governor Tambuwal of Sokoto has blamed what he described as defective security maneuvers of the nation's security structure for the rising spate of kidnapping and banditry in the state. Sokoto State Governor Tambuwal explained that the insecurity situation in the state was exacerbated by the influx of bandits and criminals displaced by the defective maneuver of security personnel deployed under Operation Hadarin Daji to end their nefarious activities in neighboring Zamfara state. The governor, according to a statement issued by the Special Advisor of Media, Mohammed Bello, spoke to a closed-door meeting with federal government delegation by the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Mungonu, retired. On the NSA entourage were the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, the Chief of Defense Intelligence, Major General Samuel Adebayo, the Director General of State Security Service and the National Intelligence Agency, Yusuf Bichi, and Ambassador Ahmed Abubakar, respectively. Tambuwal said the defective maneuvers have left the state very vulnerable to the deadly and inhuman activities of criminal elements. The consequences of Hadarin Daji have resulted before now in the last 4 days in broad daylight attacks and kidnappings in some part of Isa, Sabon, Beni, Tangaza, Ilela, and several other local government areas of the state. Operation Hadarin Daji, the precursor of the escalation of tension and crisis in Sokoto State, was carried out without any blocking force around the neighboring state, particularly Sokoto State. He further said that the timing of the operation and the way it was executed left Sokoto State vulnerable. It doesn't appear as if those bandits pursued from Zamfara State have located to Sokoto State. I believe that something should be done urgently and expeditiously because our situation is getting out of hand. Here in Sokoto State, you can verify this from the head of security agencies. There is nothing they have asked us for. They have asked of us that we have not done. Absolutely nothing. Since the commencement of this administration, we have given the security personnel in Sokoto State not less than 500 vehicles. We are also doing whatever it takes in the terms of funding from our own and despite the lean resources that we have as a state, he added. Earlier, General Babangana Mungunu retired said they were in Sokoto on a specific mission instruction of the President, Major General Mohammed Buhari, retired to commiserate with the people of the state over the killing of residents. Mungunu said the very fact that the very top security echelon in the country is here is an indication that Mr. President wants us to address this issue. so that some form of comfort is given to the people of Sokoto State by definite closure through a definite process in concluding that what has happened to the unfortunate, what has happened to these unfortunate and innocent citizens. Punch newspaper, 12th December 2021. Mazi, you had how I was able to break it down. Not before my mouth, now then talk am. The talk say Boko Haram, bandit, everything have flooded because there is no security. But in Biafra land, every two minutes you meet checkpoint. What is happening?
Okay. This is what I call total destruction of the North. Total destruction of the North. The North has been totally destroyed. I said it in your program yesterday when I was announcing what we are going to be doing today. And we are going to show to Biafrans how the North has been destroyed throughout this very week. And we are going to do that very analysis in such a way that the layman, the lowest person in understanding can be able to catch up with what we are trying to explain. Because on this analysis, we'll also be bringing up to Biafra what we're supposed to be doing at this very moment. Because it is very, very important that we keep admonishing Biafrans and we keep pointing out to Biafran the strategies that are being strategized to use or be using against them, so that they will be aware of it. And there's some people who has already been trapped into these strategies that are being used against them, that they could also find a way of escape, to escape the danger or the trap that the trap of these very strategies. And that is the reason why we are here. Now, so many people are trying to change the struggle for Biafrans as it is a struggle for quarrel among families or quarrel among individuals, or trying to change it like it is a struggle that has to do with character assassination, or trying to put blames on individuals or group of people. But this is not what this struggle is all about. This struggle is all about education. This struggle is all about development of human brain and human mind, ability to reason, ability to think as a human, ability to be independent in reasoning and in thinking. That is the reason for this very struggle. This very struggle is not about shrinking people. This very struggle is not about suppressing people. This struggle is not all about cornering people by one side and reducing them with a limitation of knowledge. Rather, this struggle is all about unveiling people, removing the veil that covered the face of the people, the understanding of the people. Now, the struggle of Biafran is just like what the formation of the Western educations came to do when they came to develop the civilization that was found around Africa. They picked all these things up. They picked all these things up around the cordons of Africa. But when they picked them up, they did not throw them in the bin. They took them to their library. They took them to their thinking table. They took them to their developing table. And they are able to open every part and the chapter of the whole inventions that they discovered in Africa and the other part of the world. They begin to analyze them one after the other. And they could be able to use it to be able to develop an educational system that could bring up people into some certain level of understanding, into some certain level of human development that can empower them to be a solution into a society, instead of being a burden or instead of being a frustration or backwardness. And that is what they're able to do, to be able to establish the Western civilization. But the discovery of it and the invent of it was not made by them. But they are well acknowledge the aspect of development, which is their strength. That anything you give to a white man, anything you give to a Western person, he cannot just look at it and they dump it where you just handed it over to them.
they will have to look at it and analyze it 1,000,000 times. Even when it's not making sense to them, they will keep analyzing it until he began to make a sense to them, until they begin to generate ideas from that thing which you can equally look at and say is common. This is what the struggle of Biafra is all about. And that is why we have to open our mind, open our brain, and open our heart to embrace a moment like this. We are in a blessed generation whereby we are called to do a specific job, and it must be done by opening up our brain, opening up our mind, being able to liberate ourselves from whatever things that might have been putting us into a bondage. And this is what the struggle of Biafra is all about. And if you are here for it, I wanted you to give me your ear this very moment in this very program as I make my analysis. Now, regarding the report you read from the Punch newspaper, now these are the part of the evidence that we are throwing out to tell you that the North is destroyed. Now, we are going to this very week bringing to you, analyzing all the countries that borders the North. And then you begin to understand what we mean by the North is totally destroyed. At this very moment, amongst all the countries that borders the North, because right now in the North, there is no database. We don't even know who is Nigeria and who is somewhere else and who is from Mali. We don't even know who is from Maradi, who is from Niger. We don't even know who is from Chad. Every part of this very countries that
everybody is a northerner. By the way, Mazi, your line keeps cracking. I don't know what the problem is. Your line keeps cracking. It keeps cracking. I think it is the problem of the network, not the ear, because the transmission, I believe. No, you have removed your earphone. We are not hearing you again.
You need to plug it again. Put it
no,
back.
I would want you to go out and come back, possibly.
Let him put it back. Put it back.
Okay, you can put it back, but it's not the earphone, it is his network. It is his network. Mazi, can you hear? Or can you please speak so we can see if we can? No, okay, please step out and return back. Go out of the program completely and return back. Mazi Zeji, you saw the article that I read.
Yeah.
And you see the lamentation of Sokoto State Governor Tambuwal about the devastation. Every day we are going to play videos. But this is not an issue we are going to deal with in one day because they matter heavy. So as days go by, we are going to also look at the neighboring countries that surround the North. We are going to look at Niger Republic. We are going to look at Chad. We are going to look at, all these. We're also going to look at the Lake Chad Basin, where you have this, where the terrorists have completely dominated. Because when we talk about all these locations, our people seem not to understand. Our people, because our people don't understand. Many of our people don't understand. People have not gone in that part of the world to see the level of devastation, see the level of poverty, see the level of degradation. And these are some of the things that are, giving the terrorists the upper hand to recruit young people into terrorism with the purpose of achieving the jihad. But the destination is Biafra land and the entire South, because that is where the resources are, because these neighboring countries has nothing, no economic activity, nothing is thriving there. So they are looking for opportunities, and the only way they can get those opportunities is taking advantage of arms and ammunition to decimate and wipe out communities where they can find a greener pasture. Mazi Zeji, we saw what I read, that the Sokoto State Governor Tambuwal is lamenting seriously. People are dying in his state.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi Pat. You see, this is what we are talking about when we say we want Biafra. There is a reason why our leader, you know, he's been going through all this suffering, all this pain, all this sorrow for all of us to be free from that contraption called Nigeria. Nigeria is died since 2014, you know, after 100 years of nothing to show for it. Now, you remember, our leader used to say, "Akan siha gabahonu." That "Akan siha gabahonu" is what is happening now. And he warned them, as long as they're supposed to, because they feel what they have done, you know, and they think they want to use it, you know, to still keep Biafrans within one Nigeria. They will go and remove all the military, you know, arsenals and all the military might of Nigeria they're supposed to use, you know, to be fighting those terrorists in the north. They carry all those equipment, carry all the military down to Biafra land to be killing innocent Biafrans, because we are saying we want to leave Nigeria. Now, I can't see how go on, and there is no escape. Like Mazi Solomon rightly said, the north is completely destroyed. It's not about the north, is about to be destroyed completely, and there is no recovery. Like you said, their target is the resources in the Biafra land, because in the whole of the northern states or whatever, is it all the gold in Zamfara? The gold, you know, that they are mining maybe illegally and selling it illegally without, you know, the state or the government, you know, having revenue out of it. So what they are doing is that they are reaping, you know, the fruit of wickedness they sowed in the lives of Biafrans. That's what has befallen the north. Their wickedness, their hatred towards the Biafrans is what has driven them, you know, to their early grave. Is self-destruction, nothing more than that, because there is no hope for the north anymore. I said no hope. That's why we are fighting. Say we need Biafra, because without Biafra, my brother, how are we going to still be in that contraption with such people? The whole 7 terrorist organizations, they've already settled completely in the north. Then we have to, you know, hang on to be in the same one Nigeria with them. God forbid. That's why we are saying we want Biafra, nothing more, nothing less. So no matter whatever they are doing, trying to use the Nigerian, you know, military might and whatever, the arms of the government to attack Biafrans, to kill Biafrans. Well, as they kill one Biafran, maybe terrorists in the north, not maybe, precisely terrorists in the north, will overrun them, take over their land, you know, destroy them completely. And that is what is happening. So they are reaping what they sow. It has nothing to do with us. The only thing we are doing is we have to be, you know, fighting, making sure that our land is secured. Like today, that is 12 months that ESN was launched. They were launched to protect our farmlands. Our leader is a visionary man. He saw all these things so many years ago and continued preaching, asking our people to get prepared that these people are coming. They are coming to rape our women. They are coming to take over our land. They are coming to kill us. But some people ignored our leader, called him a, you know, rebel rouser on social media, called him all sorts of names. But he continued. Today, that same, you know, journey for struggle, for survival, and the freedom of our people. That's what has brought him into, you know, the same suffering again, or being in DSS custody. And each step this Fulani government they make, it comes against them 100 times. So no matter whatever they are doing, a time is coming, and in a short while, well, our leader is coming out. As soon as he comes out, I don't think there is any much thing to debate about. Perhaps he will ask them, give us a date for referendum. And if you don't want to give us a date for referendum, we will give you, you know, so time, and he will declare Biafra. So if they want to kill us in the 21st century, like they did, you know, in 1967, well, we see whether we will fold our hands, you know, for them to be bombing us, for us to, you know, force us to be in that same one Nigeria with them. Because we have done everything, our leader, he has done everything humanly possible following it step by step without committing any crime, without, going away from the due process or whichever way they bring it. And we thank God that today, the IPOB, they have risen up to the occasion to make sure that whatever game these people are playing, we are 1,000 miles ahead of them. So the North, whatever that is happening to them in the North, we are sorry. We are not going to be, trying to...
Mazi, let's take this clip. Let's take this clip. There is a network issue somewhere. I don't know. People are moving in droves. Ocean of men, women, children moving in droves. Exactly what happened between 1967 to 70, how Biafrans were decimated. I want us to take a more important clip of lamentation, pain, and agony.
I saw horror. Wallahi tallahi idan abu yana kama da yawmal qiyama. Allah ina gana gan shi when I was in captivity. I saw that. I saw horror. I still have nightmares, bad nightmares. Sai an rike na har yau har gobe. Akan horrors din da na gani. Akan horrors din da na gani. That's why I left Nigeria. That's why I'm here. But wallahi tallahi, if you have not been through what we've been through, a lot of us that have been in captivity and been raped multiple times by terrorists, you would not know. You would not know the pain. You would not know the agony. Nobody stood. Nobody believed me. Nobody said anything. Nobody helped me. No one. No one. And that's what's happening right now to our children. That's what's happening right now to our children. They're being killed. Nobody's believing them. Nobody's saying anything. I'm angry. Nobody's accepting any refugee from northern Nigeria. Nobody. I was raped. I was raped. I was raped by terrorists. I was raped. I was naked. I still have marks on my arm. I know what's going on. I know the pain. I know the pain. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah.
Mazi, we see these are pains of women. You know, during the Biafra, the Nigerian Civil War, we also had our women go through pain of rape, torture, agony, and whatever you might think about. And in 2021, the same fate is visiting those who did the same, committed the same atrocities and they can no longer help themselves.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they are in charge of all the security apparatus, they are in charge of the army, they are in charge of the police, they are in charge of the navy, they are in charge of everything. The arms and the ammunition is under their care and custody, but they cannot secure themselves. Mazi, we have a lot to say. Let us take this clip.
AQIM, meaning Al-Qaeda in the Islamic West. This group had one aim: overthrow the Algerian government. AQIM, meaning Al-Qaeda in the Islamic West. This group had one aim: overthrow the Algerian government and set up an Islamic state. And to achieve this aim, the AQIM began collaborating and funding a
difficulties, but
AQIM, meaning Al-Qaeda in the Islamic West. This group had one aim: overthrow the Algerian government and set up an Islamic state. And to achieve this aim, the AQIM began collaborating and funding a smaller militant group in neighboring Nigeria, a group which now beats the Islamic State in being the most lethal terror outfit perhaps in the world, the Boko Haram. It literally means Western education is a sin. This group emerged in the year 2002 but gained prominence in 2009 after it turned violent. The AQIM provided the Boko Haram with weapons. The Boko Haram had a different motive. It wanted Nigerians to reject Western education, science, and modern literature. To enforce its will, it started razing villages and slaughtering people, kidnapping children. It then used these abducted children to carry out suicide attacks. In 2013, this group kidnapped 276 schoolgirls. In 2020, it kidnapped close to 300 schoolboys. And last week, it kidnapped nearly 317 schoolgirls again. It's an endless cycle of kidnappings and an endless cycle of violence. Since May 2011, the Boko Haram has killed 37,500 people and displaced 2.6 million people. It has turned 244,000 Nigerians into refugees. And in the same period, the Boko Haram has also inspired several fundamentalists to form their own terror outfits. I could name a few: the Ansarul Islam, Ansaru, the Islamic Movement of Nigeria, the Libyan Islamic Fighting Group, and Nusrat al-Islam. In the last 6 years, these groups have increasingly synchronized their operations and carried out multiple terror attacks across Africa. You may not have heard of them, but you must have come across these headlines, the ones that they made. The 2015 Chad suicide bombings carried out by 2 women and 2 children. The 2016 Ouagadougou attacks, where 2 former Swiss MPs were killed. The 2016 Grand Bassam shootings, where 19 people, mostly expats, were killed. And the 2018 Ouagadougou attacks, where the French embassy was attacked. And this is besides the many more raids and crimes that these terror groups commit on a daily basis. So what's driving them? Is it just ideology and religious belief? Well, yes and no. The problem is religious as much as it's financial. You see, poverty, corruption, and underemployment are also to blame here. This is where the Boko Haram operates. The Lake Chad region, one of the poorest regions in the world. It is part of the Chad Basin, an area of severe environmental degradation. This is part of the Sahel, a region with no stable governance. This narrow band of land that stretches from the Atlantic Ocean in the west to the Red Sea in the east, this is the Sahel. It's hot, dry, and vast. It's also the world's most neglected region. The average temperature here is 35 degrees. This has a dramatic effect on food production. There's nothing to grow, there's nothing to sell. Food emergencies are rampant. Poverty is widespread. The conditions make it an ideal breeding ground for terror groups. These people have proven to be vulnerable to radicalization. The likes of Boko Haram and the AQIM exploit their vulnerability. With the absence of proper governance or stable jobs, they lure young men into picking up arms, joining their ranks, and making a quick buck. So how do they do it? How do they make money? Through ransom, extortion, looting banks, imposing taxes, and kidnapping. According to one report, 26% of the global kidnapping cases in 2013 were in Nigeria and were carried out by the Boko Haram. The same report says that in 2011, the AQIM in Mali received $5.4 million per hostage on an average. And let's not even talk about high-profile kidnappings. According to Vicky Huddleston, the former US ambassador to Mali, France had to pay $17 million in ransom. This was for the release of 4 French citizens in 2010, $17 million US. A lot of us would turn in our retirement papers for that sort of money. So the terror groups were raking in the cash. Then came the pandemic. 2020 was a blessing in disguise for them. The Wuhan virus confined most of us to our homes, but for terrorists in West Africa, it provided an opportunity to consolidate and expand. The Boko Haram, in collusion with other terror groups, now controls large swathes of land in Nigeria, and it's extending its reach in Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, even sub-Saharan Africa. What is the world doing about it? Not very much. France, which once had colonies in West Africa, is the only country that is extensively engaged in combating terror in this region. It has deployed close to 5,100 military personnel and is helping local forces in pushing back terrorists. But the rest of the world is doing very little. Why? Because most world leaders are making self-interested calculations when it comes to West Africa. They consider it to be a supposedly distant threat, one that has no bearing on the future security of the rest of the world. So they're busy carrying out airstrikes in Syria. What I'm about to say next could be politically incorrect, but it's time someone said it. Africa may not have the same strategic significance as West Asia right now. It may not have the kind of oil that West Asia has, but it is the continent of the future. It still contributes almost 10% of the global oil output, 90% of the world's platinum supply, 90% of the world's cobalt supply, half of the world's gold supply, 2/3 of the world's manganese, and 35% of the world's uranium. Africa is critical to world economy and security, and terrorists in West Africa are setting up new fronts in failed states while the world is looking the other way. They're expanding in all directions, posing a serious threat to the economic powerhouses in Africa. They could soon control or destroy these resources and hold Africa's economy hostage, the reverberations of which will be felt around the world. And we are putting money as the thrust of this argument because human rights violations have long failed to move the world. So if it all comes down to money, the world should still be worried about what's happening in Africa.
Yes, so Mazi, we saw the analysis. Thank you for, we are one of, this is a news network, an Indian news network. They are doing a very wonderful job, and I thank them for that transmission. Mazi,
it's wonderful.
Throughout this week, we are going to look at what is happening in all these regions. All the countries that surround the northern Nigeria. You know, when Mazi Kanu was shouting about the Sahel, terrorists from Sahel, many people don't understand what he meant. And in this reportage, we saw the picture, the video of how dry the Sahel is, you know, and they are coming down to occupy a land that is fertile, which is the land that Chukwokika Biama gave all of us, Biafrans, me and you. Are we going to fold our hand and watch them take over our land? Because the push is coming down from the north down south. We'll see what happened in the middle belt, how everything is moving down.
But they, like I said before, you see, to be honest, I personally, I don't have one atom of pity to anything, not for one single minute. You know why? You see, what they are suffering now, even their suffering have not even started. What these people did to us, Biafrans, during the Biafran War. Me talking here, I have scars of that first Biafran War all over me. As a kid, I remember what these people, the same Fulani in Nigerian military uniform, raping our women, killing my own family. They brought 9 men and slaughtered them. These same people. Me here, we are the people they left to die of hunger. Washoko. God saved some of us. And 5 million of us were exterminated. The world kept quiet. You know, with the help of Britain, Egypt, other Russia and other countries, for us to go through those dehumanization, those total annihilation. Now, some of us, we survived it. And we are here in 2021. The same Fulani, they are the ones that invited these terrorists into Nigeria. It is not Biafrans. The same Fulani irredentism, the same Fulani oligarchy in the north, they are the same people that invited these same terrorists into Nigeria. So it's not that terrorists coming into Nigeria that they don't have any weapon or they don't have anything to fight them or to stop them from trooping in. No, the politicians, the Asorok, Erufai, Saduano, the one of Sokoto, their emir, all those Fulani leaders in Nigeria. The same way they have taken over all the government parastatals. The military is in their hand, Air Force is in their hand, Navy, everything, police, DSS, the presidency, everything, Senate, House of Rep, in the hands of Fulani. But what have they done with those power? Destruction, death, killing. That is what they enjoy, drinking the blood of innocent people. They don't give a damn because for them, they think the only way, in life is to dehumanize others because they want power. The power, they have it. They want to control everybody, to live, their own way, to be a nomad. For us, Biafrans, that we are educated, we are civilized, we want to make progress in life, we want to live a good life like every other person on earth. But Fulani don't want that. What they want is death. What they want is disease, sorrow, dehumanization, destruction. That's all they think about. And the world is keeping quiet, watching them. That's why in this 21st century, whether anybody like it or not, instead, you see, we will continue fighting, we will continue doing whatever we need to do in a legal way, the way our leader has been guiding this movement, guiding Biafrans, IPOB, for us to get to this level. Our freedom is already there. So whatever that is happening to them in the north, they are the ones who created it. Whatever that is happening from that Sahel down to whatever is the people in the government. They are the ones who invited them to come to do this dirty job, to be their foot soldiers, sending them down to the south so that they will turn the south, the same thing that is happening in the north, for them to turn the south, Biafra land, into what is going on in the north. It's not going to happen in this 21st century. No matter what, even if the whole world rally around and say, no, these Biafran people, they will never leave. We will be fighting. Let the whole world kill every Biafra. Even if it's one person that is remaining, that person will get Biafra. That's what we
Mazi, thank you very much. Mazi, we saw the lamentation. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much. We saw the lamentation of the woman who talked about how she was kidnapped, raped, and sort of things done to her. What do you have to make of that, Mazi Solomon?
Is my voice coming out clear enough?
Very clear, very clear.
Okay, thank you so much. I know that people must have missed a lot from what I said from the earlier stage. But
no, we didn't miss nothing. We didn't miss nothing.
Okay,
nothing
okay.
Was
thank
missed.
you very much. That the lamentation of the woman is a proof of a destroyed society, where women cannot be protected anymore over sexual harassment, over rape, over intimidations, over beating. Even their life cannot also be spared. That is a broken. In wherever you see this kind of thing happening, that means that is a destroyed society. That is the sign of a destroyed society, where the vulnerable have no place to hide, where they have no place to, where there is no place. You said very loud. Okay, thank you, Anayo. So where there is no place to for protection for the vulnerable, for the children, for the mothers, and also for the elder people. In a place, in a society where the life of these people, the security of people like this cannot be granted, is an evidence of a destroyed society. So that is what the lamentation of the woman is saying. But I want to point out here, because we are here to analyze issues. Now, we need to understand where all these things turns against the Northerners. Where it turns against the Northerners. Because why we're including all of them is because they allow the Fulanis that took the lead into bringing the North in the position they are today. They allow them, they give them free hand. They even support them to fight against their people who would have protected them. Let me sip a water. A lot of monarchies in the North who would have protected the North, who would have redirected the North, who would have maintained the economic sustainability of the North. Sustainability of the North. They even join hand, all the people in the North. That's why we are blaming all of them. They join hand with Usman Danfodio to fight against their monarchy and the people who could have protected the North, who could have redirected the North, and who could have maintained the economic sustainability of the North. They joined them to kill their kings and kill their rulers. And they handed over their life, their territory to the Fulanis, which actually brought them to where they are. So where did this thing started? Now, the British, during the independence, they did a fraudulent census, whereby people living in the desert, they give them more number of people. They give them more number, as to say that the majority is in the North than the South. So during this fraudulent census, because they wanted to be ruling Nigeria indirectly through the Fulani oligarchies. So they give that fraudulent census, or what do we call it today, a rigging of election, or rigging. So they rig that census, give majority to the North, so that they will always use that their majority to remain in power when it comes to democracy, when it comes to voting number. So now what really happened is that these people have the opportunity to build the boundaries and the borders of the North, to be able to secure the border of the North. But because they want to maintain the status quo of that very fraudulent census, so what they did is that they make the northern border to remain open, you know. So they refuse to build the borders of the North. So because they want to use the people on the neighboring countries to be filling up that fraudulent census that was allocated to them, you know. So now, as time goes on, because Fulani, they don't know how to manage a country, they don't know how to manage people, they don't know how to manage economy. So they left those borders open without considering how poor economically those people bordering them are. That their countries are very, very poor, to the extent that the North is a safe haven. The North is a paradise. Now, if you can be able to see the status quo of the North, you know that the North is the capital of poverty. The worst when it comes to the health sectors, the North has the worst disease. They have the highest disease. When it comes to unemployment, the North has the highest. When it comes to economic skill, the North is they almost zero. So
education zero.
Human development zero.
Yes.
Now
zero.
These are the situation of people who is hosting a people that is worse than them. In fact,
the North is a paradise compared to their neighboring countries that supply them, despite them being the capital headquarter of the world. Mazi, before you proceed, I want to read another article from Punch newspaper. Just give me Northern Nigeria, Northern region is bleeding. Youth group lament. Solomon Adeni, Abuja, 11th of December 2021, Punch newspaper. A group of Northern youths on Friday protested against the threat of insecurity in the region. The protesters, under the coalition of concerned Northern Nigerian groups, demanded an immediate end to the killings going on in the region. They also lamented the gruesome killing of over 40 passengers at Gidam Bawa village in Sokoto. Speaking to journalists, one of the leaders of the group, Zainab Ahmed, said, northern part of Nigeria was bleeding owing to the incessant killing in the region. She said, we are here to call on the Nigerian government that the north is bleeding and the north is enough. We are tired of burying our women, children, and men. Our corpses are being raised by bandits. By the way, the girl is being threatened by DSS as we speak right now. We are here to tell the government to secure our lives. We bury hundreds of people on a daily basis, yet there is no action. Not even sorry from our leaders. We are here because we are angry, because we are children of Baba Buhari. Akokowa. We feel that he has neglected us. The children of Baba Buhari. We call, Buhari knows his own children. You are not part of it. When Yusuf fell from motorcycle, he was there because he know him pikin. By the way, na representative. We call on our followers to vote for Buhari. We called on our followers to vote for Buhari in 2019 for the next level. Now the next level now this so, and this next level is killing us. We are dying. This is not what we voted for. Copyright Punch newspaper. Mazi.
Yes.
So,
thank you for bringing forward the evidence to what I am trying to analyze here. Like where I stop, the issue of the north is like, you know, the people they border the north, they are in the worst situation than the north. Instead of the north to build the border, to have border control, they make it porous.
Like America and Mexico.
And Mexico, you know, they make it porous because they want to use those poor countries to win
the population.
The population of those countries, they want to use them to sustain power, to win election. So this is exactly what happened to the north. So what we are seeing here is as the result of some certain individuals that the Northerners gang together with to kill their leaders that could have saved them in a time like this, that could have defended them in a time like this. Then they join hands with some gangsters of the Fulanis who has the opportunity at that very time to collide with the North, to kill their leaders. And they didn't see it as a way of breeding terrorism. They saw it as it is being preached to them as when Bubu is coming, he's telling us he's coming to fight corruption. Today, we are not hearing corruption in their mouth again. We are not hearing them campaigning about fighting of corruptions and all that. They are not talking about it. This is how Usman Danfodio come in and they gang up with some group of Northerners to kill their leaders and take over the Northerners. Do you understand? And the Northerners that time, they see it as a fairness. They see it as a development.
Fighting corruption. Yes, just like some people came into IPOB to instigate, people against leadership in the name of fighting corruption.
Yes, go ahead. In the name of, yes, this is exactly what happened. So they see it as fairness. That's why today we, like as Mazi, my brother here, is talking, he said he doesn't feel any pity for the North. But you discover that from the initial stage, you can look at the masses in the North and say, are they actually the cause of this very problem? But we should know when the whole North become part of the problem which they are in today. And that is why I say they are totally destroyed. because they have succeeded in removing people who could have helped them in a situation like this and who could have saved the North. They removed them. They gang up with the Fulani, just as so many politicians are ganging up with the Fulanis today to subdue the South, to kill the South, to destroy the South. Then in time to come, you will begin to see what happened with Usman bin Fadi, Usman Danfodio. You will still
if you want, I can help you to call the name.
Wait, don't worry. It seems like my head is becoming hot, so I need to remove this. You know. Usman Danfodio. So now you will see some few gangsters of the Fulanis who are floating themselves as Nigerian representatives, ganging with people in the South to kill the South, to kill the political ideology of the South, to kill the mind of the South, so that at the end of the day, you will now discover that by that their gang up, they must have succeeded in removing the people that could have protected the South. People that could have defended the South, they have succeeded in removing them out of the way. And the only people that will be left is the people who they have ganged up with to destroy the South. So that is what is happening to the North. Now, the whole North are destroyed because the North ganged up early to destroy those people who could have defended them. And they went to form alliance and they made the border porous by the Fulani in order to sustain the number that the Britain has given to them, so that they could always use that number to intimidate, as they are doing today. You discover about the election of 2023, we are talking about moving the power or moving the presidency to the South. They come to tell you they have the number. Then they will go to the ballot box, that they will go there to decide who win. Now, why are they saying it is because it's not because the North has the number to win the South. It doesn't. We will do the detailed analysis of it to show you how they don't have the number to win the South. But because these fraudulent things have already been done, been allocated to them, and they are hoping with the porous border they have in the North that they can use the Shad, that they can use the Maradi people, Niger people, they can use Mali, they can use Sahara regions and all those people. Now,
Mazi, don't forget that is the reason they even built a railway line for them, so that when it's time for election, transportation will be easy. Go ahead.
What they are trying, I will tell you what they are trying, because they don't need to cross with train. They cross with bike, they cross with bicycle, they cross with every means available for them. By the way,
but those who cannot afford bike can enter train.
You are shifting my attention a bit, because that issue of the railway, we are going to discuss it in the economic analysis. Because what they are trying to do by all those plans is to see how they can be able to, because right now the economy of the North cannot be able to sustain the neighboring borders that are very poor, that they open the borders to people that are worse than them. So there is no economic sustainability to sustain the hunger, joblessness, and the disease, and the undevelopment and the non-skill that is involved in those borders, in those people are bordering them. So there is no economic sustainability. So they are trying to create the railway and all those things, and also the dry port, to see if they can be able to create a sustainable economy that can be able to boast the level of
putting down infrastructure for economic development. Yes.
For economic development, to see if they can sustain that open border that they have, that porous border that they have, because the people they are relating with are more poorer than them. You could imagine the North is the poorest, the capital of poverty, and then they went and they are now trying. They now went and lining up with people who are more poorer than them. Yeah. It's like somebody who is drowning in the water, then you are trying to save another person who is also drowning. Both of you will disappear very soon. So that is what happened to the North. So because they are not able to sustain the level of poverty, the level of lack of education, the level of lack of human development that are in all these regions that they combine together, in order to maintain high number
supremacy, Mazi.
In order to maintain their supremacy. So because they have no economic sustainability to sustain all these things, then you see the problem they are. Now they begin to grow terrorists. They begin to grow terrorism. So people have no option than picking up arms. People have no option because there is too much hunger. There is too much frustration. There is no human development. That's why I said North is totally destroyed, because the situation they are now are unrevisable. Now, when Nigeria have the resources as to revise their situation, they were not able to do it. And now that there is no resources to revise that situation, they will remain in that situation. It will decay more. It will worsen more. They cannot redeem it. They cannot save it anymore. That's why I say the North is destroyed totally, because these are the things that you have to revise in order to be able to maintain law and order in the territory of the North. But it's unrevisable right now. Even Nigeria are dragging their feet, and most of the resources that could have been used, to rebuild the North, to build the North, and to save them for a time like this, we are diverted into individuals' pockets, and the money is not even in the country. And because they are not concerned about Nigeria, they are just concerned of where they can feel relaxed and spend the rest of their life and be happy with their family. So that's why they
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, they located the money somewhere where they can just relax and then enjoy with their families. Do you understand? So the North is in a very big problem. The very big problem. And they are totally destroyed. Then the situation cannot get better. That is why when Buhari was coming, he was promising them he's coming to fight insecurity. But it's beyond the carrying of the arm. It's beyond the carrying of the arms of the Boko Harams and the terrorists. It's beyond the confrontations of the soldiers or even killing the members of the people. Do you understand? It's beyond that, because it has everything to do with the foundation of the North. It has everything to do with the deception that the North received by joining Osman bin Fodio to fight the people who could have saved them and sustained their economy. So it has something to do with the foundation. And the Bible says, when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? Yes. There is no government that can redeem the North. There is no government that can redeem the North today. There is no government. The only way forward is what I keep telling them, and we'll be analyzing it in this very program, bit by bit. Just what I'm doing now.
We might not be able to do that today. We might not be able to do that because
I want to touch one or two things. And then what we are doing today is to pinpoint. We will come to the comprehensive analysis of what we are saying today, and we bring evidences to you. Now, what I'm trying to say is that the only way forward for the North today, if they have realized their mistake, if they have realized that they have caused their problem, the only way forward for them today is to be the one to push for referendum, is to be the one to advertise for referendum, so that through the referendum, there can be other strong nations that they can match, which they can line up with, because the people they are lining up with, the Chad, the Niger, and the Mali, is derailing them. All that they could give to them is terrorism that destroy them. So
by the way, we shouldn't forget that Muhammad Buhari's father is from Niger, so it's not the old story. Them coming from that part into the North have been an old story. Go ahead, because we want to allow Mazi to also say something.
Okay, thank you very much. So I land up on this. So pointing out now on what could be solution to the North, or what can revise the situation of the North, not even in keeping Nigeria one, because it cannot. Nigeria has no resources. Nigeria has so many problems confronting them that will make them at this time. At this time, it's very hard for them even to do Northerners first. It's very hard for them. Buhari has pushed it during his first tenure, push it to make sure Fulani fence, solving the problem of the Fulani. But it was very difficult. Politically, he could not succeed. Economically, it was very hard. because because the nation is faced with so many problems. The vice president said the world has cracked. There is crack on the wall. So anything you do mistakenly to restrict to a very corner or very one corner in order to solve the problem of one corner of people, then will escalate other problems that you are facing in Nigeria. So Nigeria cannot survive it. Nigeria cannot address it. The only thing that will address it is the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, push the message of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the demand of the Biafrans for referendum. So through referendum, the other nations can emerge in Nigeria that will be very strong, which the North can find a way to find alliance with them in order to help them to secure their borders and build a strong nation that can be able to curtail the activities of the terrorism. Thank you, Mazi Patrick. I will come back when you choose to bring me.
Thank you, Mazi Solomon. Thank you very much. Mazi Zeji, you see, we gave Solomon all the time in the world because I know that his time, by the way, is limited. Yeah, he has a very, very important.
He deserves the time because all these things we are analyzing is to educate our people, for them to have the picture in their minds, the reason why we want Biafra. Biafra is a metaphor, not only for development in Nigeria, but for the entire Africa, whether anybody likes it or not. That is the only hope. Our leader, that's why till tomorrow, no one can make one or two sentences without pointing hands to our leader, what God has used him to do. But Africans, Nigerians, the Fulanese, they don't even understand it. Because had it been these people understand, they reason like human being, they would have understood that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a gift to black race, the liberation of the entire Africa. If they understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a gift from God to come and liberate the entire Africa, the entire black race from neocolonialism and all these, problems of terrorism and problems of, hardship, suffering, pain, death, for our people to live a better life, to even test this life. But what are the Fulanese are doing? They still keep pushing forward. They want to control. They want to, force everybody to be in the same country with them. One Nigeria, as if one Nigeria will solve the problem. As if one Nigeria will put food on the table of anybody. As if one Nigeria will give jobs to people. As if one Nigeria will give any protection to anybody or security. That's what we are talking about. All of us that are shouting Biafra with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that's why we are saying, whomever you are, is not about, you are Igbo, you are Yoruba, you are Efik, you are a Job, you are this, you are that. It has come to the level whereby everybody in that entire enclave, indigenous people in Nigeria, have to rise up to make sure that Nigeria comes to an end. Coming to an end is not through war or through this terrorism the Fulanese have brought into Nigeria. Maybe through peaceful referendum, what we are calling, what our leader is calling for referendum, Biafra, for us to decide as human beings, when will Africa, when will, in short, Nigerians taste this good life? When? That's the question you keep asking. Some of them, they leave Africa, they come to Europe, to America to develop war. They see electricity is there 24 hours, water is running, everything is working, roads are good, there is no problem. People are living, human beings created by God are living the way God said they should live. Rather in Nigeria, in Africa, we keep killing ourselves. Fulani are the problem. The entire Africa, I have to tell you, this particular race of Fulani people, they are the torment, they are the demons that Lucifer has sent to destroy lives, innocent lives, to destroy property. It's not from now. Look, since 1804, that, like as our brother Mazi Solo said, since 1804, that's when that Ottoman Danfodio, he crept into the north. The evil seed he sowed in the lives of people, those the children of the emirs, the leaders in the north as a den, for them to rise up to kill their own father, destroy their own people, the people that are supposed to be protecting them. Today they are paying the price. They're not gone long ago. See, today, look at them running, being raped, doing whatever. But we in Biafra, what did we experience during 1967 to 70 war? We are talking of 1967 to 70. Is it that time they started killing us? No. But is that hatred, that same hatred, their forefathers
even as early as 1945.
45, they started killing us.
When the ever first motion was moved for independence of the zoo, they descended on Southerners, killed our people, just because we requested for freedom of everybody. The killing for the freedom we are talking about today started 1945 when Anthony Nahoro moved the motion for Nigeria to be free from Britain. Northerners took knife and machete and started slaughtering Southerners, Igbos, Yorubas, everybody. And that the same massacring that is happening today for the request for referendum is what happened in 1945 when Anthony Nahoro moved motion in the parliament. I don't want us to take this, because we'll be coming back in subsequent days. I don't want us to take this program for too long. I don't want it to exceed 1 hour, 30 minutes. But if we have to add extra 1 hour, extra 10 minutes, it's okay. Mazi Solomon will be coming back. We'll be coming back. I would also be discussing the challenges, we are having in the struggle, identifying who to, collaborate and work with, looking at interest. Mazi Solomon, we've talked about interest in the past. We've lectured our people about interest, that the focus of our interest should be on where we should be showing our concern. It's not about sentiment, where the interest of Biafrans are. So we'll be bringing that. We'll also be playing a clip of what Mandela said when a question was put to him about the interest of South Africa during the apartheid, and so that our people should be able to understand that the struggle for Biafra has nothing to do with sentiment, but interest. You pitch your interest where, people show sympathy for your cause. We'll be coming there in the coming days. But at this time, we just have to gradually round up. We would also be bringing other news that has to do with terrorism, because every day what we are saying here is just peanut compared to what is happening. Things are happening. In fact, there is no more freedom of movement between Abuja, Kaduna Express Road and all that. Even the railway that was built, they are bombing the railway line, kidnapping people even inside train. Mazi, ask me John Atochi. So we'll be bringing some of these informations to our people, analyzing it, and making our people to understand that there is need for us to come in unison, understand where we are, and keep pushing until we get our freedom. Mazi Zeji, can you give us your final word for today's program? And we'll be coming back tomorrow, if time permits you, by the way. And I hope that in the coming days, other people will also be joining this program. We'll be inviting more comrades, more people to join us, to deliberate on these issues.
Yeah, it's I can call it. It's a new first edition or second edition. As long as the time is whatever. Once you send me the link, I will always be around. Thank you, Mazi Solomon. Thank you, Mazi Pat, and also thank you, Biafrans, for listening. It's not that we want to be, we want to paint a picture, tell our people the truth, the condition, the situation, where things are now, and what we are expecting in future to happen. You understand me? Because there is no other way than to do what? Biafran referendum, Biafran freedom, and then for the release of our leader. Our leader, he has done nothing wrong. You understand me? The point is that the more Fulani is fighting, you know, doing everything possible to hold our leader or to kill Biafrans or to force us to still remain in one Nigeria, the more God is unleashing, you know, his wrath, anger on them, even demons.
Especially, just like happened in Egypt before the children of Israel left Egypt.
Yeah, let my people go. You say no.
Yes.
Let my people go. You say no. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, they arrested him when 2015, thereabout 16. He was in prison for how many years? He's let my people go. They say no. And he keep warning them. That hand you used to poison others, you are going to put it in your own mouth. Today, is it not what he said that is happening? And that they will leave that knot because of their wickedness, because of their hatred towards Biafrans. They will leave the knot empty, their place open, that all these terrorists will come in there, ravage them, destroy them, while they are in Biafra land, trying to kill innocent people. And some of them that have come to Biafra land, we don't have knife, we don't have gun, we don't have anything to fight them. But we know that there is no way in this 21st century, Fulanese with all the armory and whatever they have taken over to come and kill all of us in Biafra land, for us not to have our freedom. We are going to have our freedom, and it's pretty soon. And our leader, what we are saying, for them to release our, because the more they are holding him there, the more even the anger of God is being unleashed on them. The more death is coming on them. The more sorrow is coming on them. The more even like Mazi Solomon said, the north is completely gone. So for them, if they are wise, this is the time they're supposed to start. Oh, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, please, we go, you know, but please, can you help us so we can know how to sort this problem in Nigeria, you know, to keep people there, to safeguard the lives and properties of Nigerian citizens, wherever they are, whether they are northerners or southerners or easterners or wherever, the whole, that contraption called Nigeria, because there is nothing you can patch Nigeria that will fix Nigeria. Like you said, a foundation, a building that has already cracked. The foundation was laid, you know, wrongly. And that wrong foundation, they continue building on that faulty foundation. They continue building. The more they build, the more, you know, the building keep collapsing. So when will it stop? The only way it will stop is let them release our leader, call a date for referendum, so that everybody will vote and live peacefully. Then, like Mazi Solomon said, the point he drew there that is so critical for people to go home today with is when this referendum is done, because the North and the neighboring countries around them, they cannot sustain themselves economically, and there is no way they can sustain themselves even in the future. They try to use the dry seaport, they try to use a building railway. Like he said, the same railway are being bombed today. The same dry seaport is it working? So what do they have that will sustain them even in future? Absolutely nothing. So when Nigeria is disintegrated, there is referendum. Biafrans, we will be building Biafra in a strong way, helping them. Oduduwas will be building their place, also helping them. Other neighboring whatever from the south, because apart, we don't need oil. We've said it. Our leader said it. Even the oil, they will be taking it for free. So why can't they leave us to go? And it's for their own betterment also, for their own benefit. Not only Biafrans living. When we leave, then other places also, it will be balkanized, and then people will have a better life, and some inventions will be created by people to be able to help them and solve their problem in the north. If not, it's going to consume all of them. is going to consume all of, even those in the government. A time is coming because some of them, they can't go to their village in the north. They are stuck in.
Of course, they have confirmed, and we are going to get the clips as well to play it in this program.
Thank you,
Mazi Solomon.
Invited me.
Mazi,
I will be around.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Mazi Solomon, give us your last word before we close, and we hope to come back.
Okay. My last word is that I want Biafran to key into this very program. It's going to be educative. As I said earlier in the beginning of the program, that actually the struggle of Biafra, we should not be looking at it as things that dehumanize people, or things that subdue people, or things that tie people down, or tie people business. We should see it as a human development struggle, that it is an educative struggle, that as you go into it, what is this man from Omonia that say, Wabu College, you know, our struggle is like an institution, it's like a college. So you need to open your heart and open your mind. You learn things and be able to unveil yourself, be able to develop yourself, you know, because we are here to impact the world. We are here to impact Africa. We are here to address every problem confronting West Africa. We are here to put things in place. We are here to make our place more beautiful than Europe, you know, and than other developed nations of the world. We are here to compete on the world stage. So you should be able to open your heart, approaching
receive empowerment. Very important.
And receive empowerment. So that is the point. But last thing I wanted to say is this. Fulanis are also always in the business of accusing the people who come to provide solutions, or who is guiding their people, or who is defending their people. They are always in the business of coming to accuse them. Like as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today is trying to provide solutions, trying to fight for liberation of their people, they accuse him of corruption. They accuse him, they put allegation on him, and that is why they kept him in DSS, stabbing him, denying him his fundamental human right. And what is the reason? The reason is because they did it in the north. When Usman Danfodio come and tell the northerners that your leaders are corrupt. So
by the way, without evidence, so Usman Danfodio said that Elohim sent him. Don't forget.
Yeah, the same way. That is how Fulanis operate. And you can see they have recruited a lot of our people. They have recruited a lot of Nigerians to begin to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as guilty of what they accuse him of. You know, that's why they are writing all their rubbish, they are saying all their rubbish. So, but I'm telling people today that the way it was on the north, the way it is in the north, when the north is totally destroyed now, because they line up with the Fulanis to kill people who could have helped them, that is how it's going to happen to you very soon. It's going to be your own history, that you join the Fulanis to condemn Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that you join the Fulanis to condemn IPOPs, and you are supporting them, killing them as in the uniform, killing them as a soldier, killing them as a police. You join the Fulanis to do these activities. At the long last, you will discover that your place is totally destroyed because you line up with the Fulanis.
That is if you will be alive to even discover. Because even you that is killing your people, yes.
If you are not there, your generation will be there. Your children, your offspring will be there. They will be all there to witness that you are that uniform man that line up with the Fulanis to kill people that could have preserved your generation, that could have preserved your community, that could have provided a solution to your community. But you join hands with them to kill them, and whereby leaving your environment vulnerable. And that could be a pity. The same thing that destroyed the north could destroy it anywhere. So thank you very much, Mazi Patrick, at least, for giving me such a great opportunity to participate in this very program. And I promise Biafran that we are coming back stronger. Follow up in this
bombshell, guys, bombshell. Thank you, Mazi.
Follow our analysis. We are going to educate you, and we are going to make you to understand something. Because
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. I want to say thank you for your patience. Thank you for being part of this program. Thank you for hanging on. It's 10:41 p.m. here and also in Biafra land. And it has been a very wonderful outing today. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. We'll be coming back with the same episode in a different dimension. We'll be looking at the economics. We'll be looking at the economy. We'll be looking at the economy of the Niger Republic, Chad, all the countries that surround the North. We'll be looking at them. We'll also be looking at the ideologies of Nelson Mandela as regard to his relationship with those who supported the struggle. A lot will be happening. We'll also be bringing other comrades to join us to hold on to this discussion so that we'll be able to elaborate and enlighten our people more. It is my pleasure to have you today. As we say, congratulations to ESN for their 1-year anniversary. We want to use this opportunity to greet every ESN member, every volunteer in the bush supporting the fight against terrorism, securing our farmland, making sure that Biafra land is secure, that the bushes are secure, that our farms are producing, because without food, person will die of hunger. And this is the job of ESN, making sure that there is food production in the land by securing our land. Thank you. God bless you, ESN, and we wish you many more years in advance. And until I see you guys again, my name remains Mazi Ikem Patrick DK. Have a wonderful night. God bless you, and God bless you once again.
Obodo kenenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Kanyi kenebenu Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ika bugondilo yo, Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Amadike Biafra. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Odogwa nebula buke. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ika bugondilo yi. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Endilo yi na chozudo. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Manoke zuko. Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Umu Biafra Ghana. Nnamdi Kanu, Anyi Nnamdi Kanu, Amadike. Ikolobia bi n'obodo a mmadụ anọzi ikpe ya. Egwu ndị Ikolobia o Biafra bala anyị. Obele nwa onye afọla ibeku Chukwu zitere anyị ya. Chukwu okike abịa ma zitelie ka ọ bịa tọpụ ụmụ Biafra na-abụ, ka ọ tọpụ anyị na-abụ Naịjirịa. Chukwu zitere anyị ya. Ma ndị ilofe ajụziri ajụ, mana anyị nwekwa mmeri.